Hello everybody, welcome to day 6 of Who Does This Belong To? I'm out on the water today, which is so lovely. It's just gorgeous out here. And we just finished the first day of the Relationships Done Different class with Simone Milasas. Wow, it was a very potent day, very potent conversations, and yeah, just really has me more grateful than ever for the tools of access, and this tool, like, it's taking on such a different shape for me with this conversation about autonomy. We talked a lot about that in the class today, and you know, I've mentioned it, we've talked about it some here, but autonomy is really like, it's really where we maintain our judgments and our points of view and our conclusions in order to stay separate, like in order to actually have like a sense of ourselves as a separate person from the rest of the world, from the universe, from our bodies, you know, and basically like to do control and of other people, of our bodies, of all these things. And it like we stay separate so that we don't have the communion that we could actually have. We could have communion with our bodies, we could have communion with other people, we could have communion with the earth, with the universe. And even listing those things kind of creates a little bit of a separation, because communion really is about the oneness of everything. And functioning from that isn't something that we can really understand or comprehend. It's more something that the less, like, for me, what I've realized is like the less of a mind I have, like the less I believe anything is real and true, and the more kind of like of a happy idiot I become, the more of a like an X-Men creature I become, and I don't really seem like I have much of a clue anymore. It's like the more of me I have, the more space I have, the more, you know, the fewer points of view I have. That's really what it is to get out of autonomy and start to function from oneness and communion and consciousness. And when I look at this tool, Who Does This Belong To? It's like, it's interesting because I think I kind of talked about this maybe yesterday, but we really bastardize our capacity for oneness and communion by thinking that this, like when we go into other people's worlds, when we perceive an energy and then we kind of like decide that that energy is ours, we decide it's our thought, it's our feeling, it's our emotion, we take our capacity for communion and we like, it's kind of like the lower harmonic of it. Like we bastardize it and we turn it into like taking on all the shit of everybody around us. And not recognizing, like when you're not willing to recognize that something is just an awareness and it's not actually your point of view, your feeling, your emotion, your situation, whatever, like we basically are validating the points of view of other people around us. We're validating their experiences. We're validating their autonomy. And that's one of the things that keeps us totally stuck in this reality, the limitations, the rules and regulations, the impossibility of it, and out of the space that we be that is so different. And I know I had said I would talk about, you know, some topic areas. So I was kind of like, well, how do we do that? You know, we have two days, today and tomorrow. I think if you just look at all areas of life, like this applies. And so let's look, for example, at body stuff. Like, and I've been having some conversations with a friend, it's like about body stuff. And it's like, there's, you know, people have their reality around like pain and illness and aging, and like so much of this reality in relationship to bodies is about the impossibility of bodies. eventual demise, the inevitable demise of bodies, the movement towards death. I mean, nobody really says that, but that's really what it is about, is like your body's going to degenerate, it's going to get sick, it's going to get less vibrant, less juicy, less healthy, less alive as you get older, and you age, you diminish, you get sick, you die, etc., etc. You get fat, like you have hormonal problems, you have pain, you have all these things. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily connected to aging, because people that don't have, younger people that aren't as like oriented to that conversation, there's still aging. It kind of runs through everything in a lot of ways, no matter how old you are. But just like the diminishment and the like limitation of bodies. And bodies are these incredible organisms, like our humanoid bodies, X-Men bodies especially, these incredible organisms of consciousness and possibility and space and energy, and they're constantly regenerating themselves. And like if we actually don't have a lot of points of view, the consciousness of our bodies can create themselves based on the possibility that they be, based on the magic and miraculousness that they be, based on an exploration of what is possible, what's greater than what's ever been. But when we busy ourselves and occupy ourselves with the stories, the rules and the regulations that, form and structure of this reality in regards to bodies, and we're around it all the time, like everybody around us is always running those stories. And so then we take them on, we believe they're ours, and we believe they apply to us. And we jump into that autonomy, that separation, the sense of limitation, separateness, impossibility that other people have with their bodies. And we validate their experience, we validate their autonomy, we validate their points of view. And instead of being like, that's not really my reality, and we can do that and be that in a way that's not, it doesn't have to be, it's not about like resisting or fighting. It's just actually choosing something different. And you might make other people uncomfortable, which is a lot of why we don't, do Who Does This Belong To? We don't live it. Because if you really lived it, nothing is yours. Nothing would be yours. Nothing would be really that relevant to you. You wouldn't fit in this world. And if your body is really different, you definitely don't fit in this world, because it's a visible thing, like it's not fair. It's not like, how dare you have the ease, joy, and glory with your body? How did you become exempt from aging? How did you become exempt from illness and sickness and degeneration, And it's like as we've talked about, it all kind of comes back to relationships with other people, because if you didn't have people judging you for the ease, joy, and glory that you have, that you could have, or you do have, if you didn't have people judging you for that, and there was nobody around, you would just have it, like you would just choose it, and it would be a lot easier. But we've always got these like reflections of other people around us, and we always want to validate their points of view, their feelings, thoughts, and emotions, their autonomy. And when we do that, we create separation with ourselves. So that's kind of like a big picture, and piece about autonomy and all the things. But one thing I want to really specifically address in regards to bodies is, like the awareness that our bodies have, because our bodies are extraordinarily aware, and a lot of our bodies are very dynamic healers. Like our bodies have this incredible healing capacity. And so our bodies will pick up on stuff around us, easily, you know, and it's part of the capacities that a lot of our bodies have. And it's also one of those things that tends to be a little bit kind of like automatic. And it's also not necessarily wrong or bad, or something you even necessarily like need to stop doing, you know. But what if you could what if your body could have the ease of the awareness that it has? Because your body, as an organism of consciousness, it has a lot of awareness. It has awareness of the earth. It has awareness of other bodies. And sometimes my body will show me, like if I'm working on somebody, or if I'm thinking about working on somebody, like I'm doing some energy work on their body, my body might actually show me through my own body what's going on with their body. And that can be really cool. And I always receive that information, and I'm like, thank you so much. I recognize that it's theirs, it's not mine. And great, I've got the information, I've got the awareness. I don't need to, like, that doesn't need to be something that sticks around, you know? So our bodies are constantly giving us this kind of awareness and information. And what if you were just like, if that's the case for you, what if you could just be like, thank you, body. You are amazing. You are so aware. You are brilliant. Thank you for showing me all these things that you show me about the world, about other people, about other people's bodies. And then you can, again, like take that awareness and use it in a generative, creative way. Don't stop with that and like lock it in and be like, oh, my body's taking on, you know, other people's stuff. I'm stuck now, you know, because when you take on a point of view like that, you are stuck. Like, there you go. You've locked it in. You've locked it into your energetic structure, your cellular structure, your molecular structure. You've locked it into your body, whether it's pain or, you know, illness, or it could even be like a chemical experience of like anxiety or depression or something like that. So, one of the things that I think is really like a really cool kind of benefit of doing this, who does this belong to, is even if you're not focusing on your body, even just the constant practice of being in the awareness that things aren't yours and recognizing that, it keeps your body like able to just kind of like have its own space, not from autonomy, but from like the greatness of the consciousness that your body bees. And as we have that space, it's like, if you're willing for people to be uncomfortable around you, you're willing for them to leave, you don't need to have their thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You can be like, yep, not mine, not mine, not mine. I'm free, I'm spacious, I'm happy, I don't have problems, you know. Then our bodies like get to play with that too. And our being is the space in which the molecules of our bodies dance and exist and create themselves. And so when your being has that kind of space, that kind of freedom, that kind of awareness, then the molecules of our bodies get to actually function and show up in a different way, and your body creates itself in a different way. So there's just sort of like inherently a lot of freedom that comes with this particular tool that just kind of like directly translates to the body. And then like what else can you be exploring with your body? And any time, like this is like the simplest thing I'm gonna say at the end, because I like to function backward, I guess. I just like to go all over the place. But what if any time your body gives you information, pain, weirdness, you know, some funky sensation or situation or energetic awareness or whatever, you're just like, is that mine? You know, and it's just a curiosity. Got a helicopter. It's just a curiosity. It's not it's not like a thing where you have to be like, oh my gosh, now I have this pain, you know, because if you're like, now I have this pain, now I have this whatever, then you do. You know, but if you're like, oh, what's the awareness here? Buddy, are you aware of something? And your body's like, yep, you know, and then you're like, okay, cool. What is it? You know, what do I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how? Is it mine? Is it yours? You know, and you just know that like when you're being you and your body has that freedom, there's gonna constantly be more space, more ease, more joy, more pleasure, less buying all the shit as yours. So a little bit of a rambling one today. I think they kind of all have been, but that tends to be how I kind of do things. But I hope it was a contribution. And the water and the beautiful land here, it's just like, oh, so amazing. I love this place. And maybe tomorrow we'll talk about money. I think that's a good one to to address here. And you know, please also bring any more questions that you have between now and tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Bye for now.